Hey everyone, my name is Sam. You are here on my channel Healing and Divination. Thank you so much for being here. So I have recently put out a video about being an empath, okay, a short, sorry, on being an empath, and this is the full video on that. And I want to talk about how an empath can cleanse themselves, so cleanse their aura bundle, and feel emotionally more aligned, or in regards to their emotional body, they feel more aligned. Okay, so that's where the cleansing comes in. Create boundaries is number 2, and number 3 is cutting people off. Now, cutting people off isn't going to be for everybody. The first 2 will be more than suffice for you, but there are going to be some cases where you are well aware somebody is not right for you or your energy, or there is a situation around you that is not right for you or your energy, and yes, then you need to go ahead and you need to cut it off. So let's get into it. Thank you so much for being here. I am a holistic coach, so I deal with mind, body and soul, and I want to bring more videos to you. So the most common sort of scenarios that I have with my clients and things that we can all deal with, and hopefully all of this advice will really help somebody out there. And this video is for empaths. Okay, so let's just get into it, and I want to read on what an empath is. This is basically one of the course booklets that I've made for my clients, and I just want to read from the first bit. And so what is an empath? That's a question, because a lot of people don't even know they're empaths, and a lot of people are not quite sure about it as well. Okay, so the term empath comes from the word empathy, which is the ability to understand the experiences and feelings of others outside of your own, okay, energy bundle. Because obviously as an empath, those energies, those feelings, those experiences are latching onto your aura bundle, and you're now feeling it. Okay, so basically, that's a little bit of an explanation. So an empath is someone who can, let me give you an example, is somebody who can walk into a room and can feel the emotions and energies taking place. This has an impact on the empath unless they know how to protect their energy and aura. Most empaths do not actually know that they are an empath, and they don't know how to protect themselves. Okay, so that's just giving you a little bit of information on what is an empath. So if you're somebody who is able to walk into let's just say, because this has happened, I'll give you an example for myself. I walked into this place and I passed the interview and everything, and it's actually quite a big organization. This was years back, and I honestly I felt so privileged, and I felt so happy that I was going to work in this environment. And when I started to work there, excuse me, I just couldn't concentrate, and I felt so foggy around my headspace, and it wasn't something that the job itself wasn't something that I was not able to do, but because of the way that I was feeling heavy, foggy, and lethargic, I wasn't able to concentrate with the work that I was doing. And that is because the retention, even though this was a really good company, the retention level was really, really poor. People were actually leaving or going on sick because they were feeling, they were actually beginning to get ill. They were, some of them were getting terminally ill as well, because it was just such a stressful environment, right? And as an empath, I felt it like this. And it had such an impact on me. I just couldn't do the work. It was almost like I was underqualified for the work, and I just couldn't do the work. But that wasn't the case. It was because I was feeling all of this energy. That building had residual energy. Excuse me. So the people who were feeling ill, before me, the people who were feeling like really heavy, under pressure, the sort of competition that was happening, you know, people weren't happy. And I was actually working for a department where I could tell, because people would be on the phone and then the talks were about the retention level. And I'm not going to mention what it was, but I could pick up the energy of this place, and that's what an empath can do, okay? So that's another example of an empath. An empath could also be around somebody, you know, this is, because an empath is also a giver, by the way. An empath is somebody who wants to give, okay? And because of that reason, they don't hold their power very well, okay? And because of this reason of giving as well, they are not just allowing, you know, different sort of people to come into their energy. They're beginning to hold different, that they're beginning to become even more tired, because now people are latching onto their energy, and what healthy energy they have left, they want to give to other people. Okay, now an empath is like extremely tired and exhausted. This is like just letting you know a little bit more about what empaths is, and, you know, giving you a few more examples. Now that we've dealt with that, I just want to go into cleansing. Now the cleansing is going to be of a spiritual nature and is going to be of a practical nature as well. And that's how I like to work with my holistic healing. Okay, so in regards to cleansing your energy, enough people don't do this. Go out in the sun. I'm in the UK. We don't get the sun a lot, but when we get the sun, we try to avoid it. And I'm not saying go out there and get a sunstroke, but the sun itself is a very powerful planet, or, you know, it's very powerful. And what it does, it's not a planet, but basically the sun is very powerful, and what it does, it's a very powerful energy source. And no one can go really close to the sun at all, because obviously it will burn them. But the energy that it gives off is a cleansing energy. Okay, it gives us the source of light. Okay, and if you are able to go out, the sun itself will actually cleanse your aura bundle. So that's tip number one. Okay, another one is going to be have regular showers. Okay, have regular showers. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what, like that's normal? Yes, it is, but there's a lot of people that will skip it. If you are an empath, have regular showers, okay, at least once a day, and have salt baths at least once a week. Even if it's just a pinch of salt, have a salt bath. It will be so good for you. Another quick way of cleansing the aura around you is you using incense sticks. And if you use sage is brilliant for you. Sage gets rid of negativity. Okay, obviously it lets out that smell, but before that it will burn. So it has you know, it works with your senses, so it goes in you internally, but also on the exterior. It's going to go into the environment that you're in as well. Okay. And then the last one is buy an aura cleanse. I am currently creating an aura cleanse, and, you know, if you would like to buy my aura cleanse, then I can obviously send you that by post. I will put the details in the description box. Okay, so my aura cleanse has 5 essential oils in it, or cleansing oils. It has different crystal dust in it, and it has a few other natural cleansing ingredients in it. Okay, and basically what you do is you spray it around your aura. You don't spray it on yourself, around your aura, because that's what we're trying to, you know, cleanse. Another thing is, okay, so tip number 2 is create boundaries. You need to create boundaries, and to create boundaries, you need to create space. If there is a boundary in place, there is space on both sides. Okay, so a really easy way of doing that is trying to create more space and time for yourself being strict about it, right, and being disciplined about it, so that you're able to move away from things that do not serve you, or people that do not serve you, or make you feel drained, you know, like energy vampires, or people who are gossiping, or people who are just, you know, lathering you, excuse me, with their work. That's where you need to create space. So for instance, if you know that somebody likes to, you know, you come home from work and there's a certain chore that this person can do because they've been home for like 2-3 hours before you, but they want to give that chore to you because they are now used to you doing that chore, and you have actually, you know, you're also at fault at this point because you haven't created a boundary with this person. What you need to do is you need to go home and have a, you know, say to this person, actually I've got something else to do today, and because of that reason I can't do this, or can we please half it, you know, like I do it a couple of days and you do it a couple of days, okay? You do have to vocalize boundaries, okay? Boundaries can just be created, but that's going to be a sudden change, and some people aren't going to some people won't feel very comfortable with you making that change, and you might not feel comfortable making that change yourself, okay? Because you don't want to create something, which I totally get. Create an atmosphere. Okay. Also, when you're trying to create a boundary and you're trying to create space between a person, don't rush to get back to them, okay? Because that's the people pleasing part of you that you've created through being an empath. Another word for empath within spirituality is a sensitive, okay? So in spirituality, yes, there's empath, but you're also a sensitive, you know, we would call you as a sensitive as well. And you are, you know, you will rush to sort of like get back to this person. Oh, I just create this boundary and now I think this person is going to feel a certain way to me about me, and they're ringing me, I have to pick up the phone. You don't have to pick up the phone. Give it a little bit of time and give it a little bit of space, okay? And this isn't because you're trying to be nasty to somebody, you're just trying to be healthier for yourself. Recite it to yourself as, I'm trying to be healthier for me, not that I'm trying to, maybe don't even use I'm trying to create a boundary with this person, because that might sound a bit too harsh depending on who you are, okay? And yeah, so you know, you will automatically, usually people automatically, if they're an empath, they will be a people pleaser. They are also very highly intuitive, okay? Because they are a sensitive, because they can feel the energies around them, you know, and that's because they are intuitive. And that's the other thing. If they can feel that that person's going to get offended or they're going to be angry, you know, if I put this boundary in place, you're going to try and avoid that. But that's exactly what you can't do, because now you're just staying in the situation of being an unhealthy empath, okay? You have to turn healthy. And yes, you know, I always say to people who join my program, you are going to rattle a few cages, but that's okay. That's really okay. Okay, if that means that you become healthier by the end of it and you have a healthier relationship with the other person at the end of it, it's okay, you can rattle a few cages, okay? So tip number 3 is, this isn't for everybody, and depending on who the person is or the situation is in your life, you won't be able to cut it off. But sometimes the best way to deal with things that are weighing you down, and you can't actually see any growth, a very good way of sort of measuring it is seeing that if this thing or this person stays in my life, how much growth am I going to have in my life? If the answer is I won't have growth in my life, then, well, you need to cut that off, because it's something in the meantime, even in the present, that is making you feel heavy and lethargic, okay? It's stopping you from your goal. And at the end of that goal, that thing, that person is not going to be there. So you can you can cut that thing person off. Okay, so those are my tips for you know, yourself if you are an empath, or if you're, you know, watching this video for somebody else. I really hope they help. If you want any more information, you know, you need any more information, you can contact me. I will put the details in the description box, and to join my coaching program I will do the same. Thank you so much. Also, the platforms that I'm going to put down for myself, because I also do readings and tarot readings, as well as psychic readings. You can look at my testimonials on all of my platforms for my coaching and for my reading, for my tarot and psychic reads as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave you there. Thank you so much. Bye.